Welcome to the Beyond Divorce, Embracing Change podcast. My name is Michael Flores, and I will be your host while we explore the complex journey of divorce with empathy, insight, and practical knowledge. Whether you're contemplating separation, in a divorce, or looking for support post-divorce, our episodes provide expert guidance, stories, and strategies to help you through every step of the process. We are actual therapists, helping clients who sit on our couches every day through their difficulties of divorce. You are not alone. Join us as we delve in and find solutions that give you hope again. We're glad you're here.
This podcast is not intended to replace legal or personal help. This podcast is for informational purposes only.
Well, welcome everyone. Welcome back to Beyond Divorce, Embracing Change. Janan is here. I'm so excited to have Janan. She always gets excited, it seems, now as we do this more. And I love it because Janan has such really cool topics. Actually, this topic is a really interesting one. And I want to make sure you listeners know something before we get into this. Janan approached this topic and I thought, what a great idea to kind of go talk through this just on a podcast. But we want to make sure it's very clear that this is in no form legal advice or therapeutic advice, particular to this session, but we will be discussing matters that have a legal nature in them and therapeutic nature to them, to the point that we want to make sure that you understand that this is just a conversation, a dialogue, and hopefully you can pick some stuff up from it that you think may be something to consider, but ultimately we're not advising you in any way, form, or fashion of how to approach things. So, Janan, why don't you tell them kind of what we're thinking about this particular topic when you brought it up? I mean, I know we don't have the full-on title, as we were going to call it yet, but what is it that you wanted people to get from this?
Yeah, so this is it's a working title. And I'm not even going to say a title because I don't know what it's going to say. But obviously we're talking about court, divorce.
That's right.
Child custody, all that stuff. Well, the main thing that people really have on their mind is winning and losing, right? So maybe we can talk about, how do we win? How do I win my court case? How do I win my child custody case?
Yeah.
How do I win my divorce?
Well, and I want to put this out there. People don't know, a lot of people don't seem to know that family law was really developed from civil procedure. And in civil law, it is about winning and losing. And so family law has this nature of win and lose in it already.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I think that mentality in family law of going in to win, or I go in, I lose, really can do some damage, I think, in the ultimate outcome of what happens to families, in my opinion. So.
Right. But we'll get to the conclusion.
Ooh, I'm already concluding.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're concluding before we are precluding. Is that the word?
Precluding. Okay, we'll go with that. All right. So, Janan, what's the first part of this? What are you thinking?
Well, okay. So in my mind, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking that, well, if I was going to go through a divorce, which hopefully I never do, I would probably ask ChatGPT or AI or something like that.
People are doing that.
Because I think that they have some good information a lot of times. So my thought process was that we can ask ChatGPT.
So let me make sure I understand. You're saying you're putting yourself in the people's position, saying if I was going through divorce, right, myself, what is the most likely way that I would be seeking out information to help me win my court case?
Yes.
And you're saying this is likely what people would do. So you went ahead and took that process on, and we're going to discuss it.
Yeah.
Which is they probably are going to go through the internet.
Uh-huh.
ChatGPT, Google, and it's like, how do I win my court case?
I literally typed that in. How do I win my court case?
And you went through what? ChatGPT?
ChatGPT.
Okay, I cannot wait to hear this. What does it say?
Well, I will tell you that I'm not upset at what they've said.
Okay.
But it's very, very general.
Interesting. Okay.
So the first thing that they said was, I think the first thing that they said was actually really, really good. And it's a lot of stuff that it's kind of like the premise of family court in general. It's just, they say like, you're not trying to really defeat the parent. So I use the word win, but the thing is that ChatGPT is actually kind of taking you down a notch and saying that you're really not trying to win. What you're trying to do is you're trying to show the court that you're the best option. And it's in the best interest of your child, which is what we say all the time. We're doing what's in their best interest. And so essentially they said, winning is showing that you're the best, essentially, or you're the best option
Mm-hmm. Of the two,
of the two.
I believe I am the best option.
Mhm.
Got it.
Or three sometimes, so there's like an intervener.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen grandparents that were involved in. Yep, I've seen that too. Mm-hmm.
So then they gave you some approaches. The first one was understanding the legal standard. I don't know anything about that, but one thing that you want to do is kind of understand legal stuff.
Well, it's probably because each state probably has their own, legal procedures regarding family law and things like that. So you have federal, right, which is encompassing all, and then you have the states, and so then you have so basically understanding what does the law say in your particular state regarding the procedures
and kind of what just needs to happen legally, right?
Mm-hmm. The legal what you got to. I think the thing that I want people to remember too is sometimes the hands are tied because there are legal matters in place that it's like, even if I felt this way, the law does not allow me to do it that way. The law can sometimes strap them down for making a decision. Like, the law was designed, in my opinion, to determine this is the way you proceed that we believe is in the best interest and encompasses the majority.
Yeah.
However, there are significant cases that they don't fit in the majority, and then you want to give let me say it this way. I believe you want to give the legal people, like the judges and those that make decisions, enough leeway to basically build the best option or to build the best solution for a family to succeed without strapping them down so tight that they have no way to do that. It's almost like, think of it like when we were in school and we had to paint a picture. So you have two pictures. You have, here's the picture already drawn, paint it, or draw a picture of, right, yourself, which gives you the creative potential. And so we want our judges to have that, like, here's the law, but you get to have the creative potential around those things. So knowing the law and learning, like, what's the limits, like, what are the lines, actually, I think does help people understand. Like, even if I think this is the best, the law's not going to allow that. Does it make sense? So I'm already losing going into it.
Right.
So that's what I think that means.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be off, but I think.
I mean, we could be wrong, but who knows?
That's what ChatGPT is telling us. So we're going to talk about it.
And then we're interpreting.
We're interpreting.
All right. Demonstrate stability and involvement.
Demonstrate stability, meaning that the parent needs to demonstrate stability and involvement.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. No, but here's the question on that. The other parent has a perspective that you're the opposite of those things.
Mm-hmm.
So then does the parent have to prove that they're involved, or does the other person have to disprove?
I think that, and I don't know what ChatGPT means, but in my mind, I always thought that the best way to do that is to prove that you're involved rather than trying to disprove the other person's not involved.
I like that. It's almost like saying, rather than trying to counter what they say about you, just be the thing that you are.
Yep.
Right? So be involved.
Yeah, be involved. Show that you are involved, and then just say, I'm the best parent because I am involved, or whatever it is.
And here's how I'm involved.
Yeah. And you don't have to really worry about what the other parent's doing, right? Like,
you make it sound so easy.
Yeah, well.
No, but I like it because guess what? Who's in control of your involvement?
I am. You are.
Now, you could say, well, every time I show up to the baseball game or every time I show up to do the pickup, I get denied. That does not mean you're not involved, does it?
Right.
You just don't have to prove it. I showed up.
Mm-hmm.
I was denied. There's that's a difference. Then they're going to deny me anyway, so I don't show up.
Right.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, continue. I like that.
And that kind of goes along with being consistent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just consistently showing up.
Mm-hmm. Which we talk about a lot. Do you notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, continue.
Another way that ChatGPT says that we can win is documenting everything. And then in parentheses it says calmly. I don't know why.
Calmly. There's a reason it says that, I'm sure.
Calmly document everything.
Calmly. Well, because you know what? It's probably meaning, and I'm interpreting. People write their emotion, not their facts.
Oh, okay.
People don't write the facts. They write the emotion. The emotion's in
this idiot said, yeah.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This jerk, this alienator, this whatever they say. They love to use labels.
Yeah.
This narcissist. That's not calmly. That's not fact. It may not even be factual. Have you had people tell you a diagnosis that they made on their partner?
Oh, yeah.
But yet you're the one that actually can diagnose. You have the right in training to diagnose, but yet they're telling you what the diagnosis is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's kind of like interesting to me. I always find that fun. I'm like, just literally, you are not realizing you're making my education mean nothing. Dr. Google.
Dr. Google. Michael.
I talked to Dr. Google. Oh my gosh. Google.
Or Dr. ChatGPT.
Oh my gosh. Jenna.
Right.
Okay, what's next?
Maintain a respectful co-parenting approach.
What does that look like?
I mean, everything that this whole podcast has been about. Like all of our episodes.
Pretty much, yeah. Be respectful, be kind. I wonder if we put our stuff in ChatGPT and then had it spit out like what's the common thread among everything we've saying through all our episodes.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I wonder what would be the biggest. What would be the word?
I wonder if you know what? That's a challenge. I think I want to figure out how to do that. I'm going to ask Armando. No. Say Armando, take all of our episodes. Yep. Find the key points that we make consistently. That's a good one. Okay. Yeah. Continue.
All right. Another way to be able to, quote unquote, win is get legal representation. That makes sense, right?
Have an attorney.
Have an attorney.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not even legal advice. That's just common sense.
Well, I think that...
Let's say if possible, too.
Well, in our own experiences, when we watch pro se people, they don't understand. They get frustrated because they're like trying to make a point. They're trying to ask a question of a witness, but they don't understand legally how they're supposed to do that.
Like how to ask a question.
Yeah, like how do I ask a question so that there's not an objection to form, or there's not an objection to, I don't know, I'm just making these up now. There's not an objection to asked and answered. What are the other objections we hear all the time? Hearsay. That's a common one.
Or to be able to object, right?
Yeah, or like knowing when to object. Because if you're pro se, meaning that you are representing yourself, and let's say the other person has an attorney, that attorney knows legally what they can object to you, which then limits your voice.
Yeah.
But you don't know legally what you can object to them.
And they'll do whatever they want.
And they can say things they can't say or ask, but because you don't know how to object, it gets to go in.
Oh, Lord.
And so now you have just, you've sunk your own ship, man.
Yeah.
Sunk your own battleship here.
And the thing is, we can speak on that because we've seen it, right? I've seen it happen. You've seen it happen.
I've literally sat in the witness box and I've watched a pro se parent get so frustrated because they didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I felt horrible because I was like, I know exactly what they're, as a matter of fact, I think the judge felt horrible. The judge was like, I know what they're doing, but they can't legally do that. Because remember, they're bound by law, right? There's a law. And if they're objecting because they know how to object and you don't know how to respond to it, I can't tell you how to respond. I cannot give you the legal advice on what to do, on how to take someone on voir dire.
Voir dire? That's so Texan.
Voir dire. It's not a Texan word, though. It's like all Latin.
The way you guys say it is so Texan.
Yeah. How would you say it then?
It's voir dire. It's French. Latin? I don't know.
I thought it was all Latin.
But it's not voir dire.
We are not attorneys.
And we are not Latin.
They say voir dire.
In Texas, they do. I think it's voir dire.
Voir dire.
I'm pretty sure that's how they...
It doesn't matter. The judges know what they mean when they say it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying people don't know what all that is. Like, what is this, all this Latin?
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah. Can I object to an objection?
Can you?
In a sense, you can.
I guess. I object to your objection.
I think you can. I think you can. Yeah, someone objects, you think it's not a good objection. I think you get a chance to argue your side on that.
On what grounds? Because it's not a good objection. That's what I would say.
Well, if you object and the judge says overruled, there's nothing to argue. If the judge says sustained, then the objection flies. But I think you can say, I do. I wonder. Now I'm wondering. I thought you could, though.
I don't know. I'm not an attorney. You're not an attorney.
No, I'm not. But these are questions. We're thinking like the people that walk in our office now, aren't we?
Yeah.
This is good. Okay, continue.
All right. We got two more.
Oh, good.
Stay focused on the child.
Oh, yeah, that's important.
Yeah, that's a big one.
What does that mean? Can you elaborate?
See, I think we can go further on this one in the third segment.
Okay. Don't forget it, please.
Don't
Focus
forget.
on the child. I'm going to put it here.
Focus on the child.
I'm going to put it in here. Okay.
That is really important.
Well, ChatGPT got one we like, huh? Good. What else?
Mm-hmm. And then avoid the common mistakes.
Does it give a list?
Yeah, it does. Okay, so common mistakes is don't ignore court orders. That is a common mistake. That is one.
I'm just looking around. Continue.
Don't withhold the child from the other parent. Yeah. Common mistake, yes.
These aren't your notes. These are ChatGPT's.
This is ChatGPT.
Okay, continue.
It's like ChatGPT is sitting in our office with us. I don't know.
Listening to us, and it's just repeating on things we've said.
Don't engage in yelling or texting wars. Yeah. Like our family wizard when everybody can see it, right? And don't let your child become the messenger. That makes sense, yeah. Like detriangulate, really. That's what they're saying.
I've said that so many times. Detriangulate. People actually use that word now because they know what it means when I say, because it just makes it easier than saying all the other stuff they want to say. So I was detriangulating yesterday, and I know exactly what that means, and they do too. It's great when they learn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so detriangulating. Yeah.
So those are common mistakes, I think.
Yeah. We talked about triangulation in that episode, didn't we? The Asian series. Yeah, we did. That's good. Good for us.
Yeah.
Good for us. Okay, continue.
That's it.
That's it. That's the list. Can you go through those again one more time, just real quick?
The 1 through 7?
No. That last list.
The mistakes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's an important one.
Don't ignore court orders.
Don't ignore court orders.
Don't withhold the child from the other parent.
Do not withhold the child from the other parent.
Don't engage in yelling or angry texts or texting wars and all that stuff, messaging wars.
Got it. Don't engage in wars and yelling and let your emotions get the best of you. Got it.
And don't let your child be the referee or the messenger, essentially detriangulate.
Yeah. Don't put your kid in the middle. Yeah, you let them referee. Because it's easier to tell your kid, tell your parent that. Yeah.
It's so much easier because then you don't have to talk to the other parent, right?
I got to tell you something funny.
Okay.
I got to tell you something funny. So I'm working with a client, and he went through this, like, I don't know if it was a program or whatever. I know the person's name. I'm so sorry that I can't think of it off the top of my head. But he teaches this. I mean, people probably know, our listeners might know what this is. But he teaches this principle called BIF. Do you know what BIF is? BIFF?
Oh, no. I was thinking BIP. No,
not BIP. BIF. No, behavior intervention plan. No, not BIP. BIF. BIFF. Brief, informative, friendly, and fair, I think. That's what it is. Brief, informative, friendly, and fair. I might be getting it wrong, but I know I got most of it right.
Mm-hmm.
So this comes up where someone asks him, "Do you know what BIF is?" And he does. He's like, "Yeah, I know it. I did this class, and they taught us that."
Good.
And he says it: brief, informative, friendly, and fair. Is it firm?
Firm.
It says firm. Oh, okay. Brief, informative, friendly, and firm.
Firms.
Got it. It's firm. Okay. So I thought it was firm and fair. Brief, informative, brief, informative, friendly, and firm. Okay. Firm meaning be direct. Like don't beat around the box kind of thing, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Now here's the interesting part. He says, "Yeah, I know what BIF is. I'm just not good at the brief and friendly part." And I lost it. I was like, that's the two parts, right? Like they can simplify this, right? Be brief. You're too long.
Oh my God.
And then friendly?
Can't be friendly.
It's like I struggle with those two of the four.
Oh, that's funny.
So what's left? I'm very informative and I'm very firm. I'm just not friendly and I'm not brief.
Oh my God.
Like the two that have the emotion built in. So I was laughing.
Know thyself, right?
I laughed on the way home too because I was like, they called themselves out, and when they said it, they smiled like, "Yeah, I suck at that."
Yeah.
I was like, it looks like you do. I don't mind clients being honest with me. Like, it's okay. You can tell me your shenanigans.
That's the best part.
But let's work through it.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I'm sorry, Jananas.
That's great.
Well, that kind of goes back to some of the things in the list of don't do this. Okay.
Don't do that.
So be brief and friendly. Like,
be brief and friendly. Like, if nothing else, we can do that. That's probably more important.
I don't have to like someone, but I can be respectful. Like the guy at Target. I don't know the guy at Target, but the guy goes, "Hi, welcome to Target." I can at least say, "Hello." Like literally, do I have to like the guy to acknowledge him?
No, you really don't.
That's what I'm saying. This is ridiculous.
It's interesting, right?
What is, and it bothers me because I'm like, can't we encourage our children and can't we ourselves as adults still be respectful and kind to people we may not like? I've had someone ask me, how do I be kind to someone who's taking me to court, making me look like I'm this horrible person, painting this picture of all our people, talking to our friends, talking to our family? This is what I've heard. How can I be kind to someone like that? And I said, well, is it about them or you?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you become the opposite of who you are because of them, then what's really happening?
Yeah.
That's what I say. But I don't know, John. It's me. Sorry.
Well, that's good.
That's my therapy brain. Continue. What's next?
All right. Well, since we asked ChatGPT or AI,
Yeah.
let's ask an attorney.
Ooh. What does that mean? I don't have an attorney.
Neither of us are attorneys.
Yeah. Nope. I like staying in my zone. I like being counsel. So
But what I did was I just looked on one of an attorney's website, and they actually had some really good information on kind of like the legal process, and then essentially how to set yourself up to have the best outcome possible.
Oh, like encouraging the client, like, hey, from a legal perspective, these are things to consider to get the best outcomes in your court case.
Yeah.
That's
Like how to just kind of follow this legal proceedings and all that.
Okay, cool. What'd you learn?
I mean, and this will be brief because I'm not an attorney. And
Is it informative and friendly and firm?
It's an informative. Yeah, I will say it in a very friendly way.
Thank you, Janan. So kind.
And I will be very brief.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll let you.
All right. So, essentially, first thing is going to be consultation. You want to talk to an attorney. I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, you want to talk to an attorney. And then this attorney has quote unquote homework, but essentially that's when you like do your narrative, you talk about kind of what's happened, and give your attorney as much information as possible, honest information, right? Honest. And then they're able to kind of help start building your case or something like that. Right?
Got it.
Mm-hmm. And then it's like the filing. So this is like, whatever, temporary orders, blah, 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 all that stuff. So they'll file it or you respond if you have gotten filed on. Yeah.
You know what's funny when I heard that, and I want to highlight something that I've seen.
Okay.
The being honest with your attorney part.
Oof. Yeah.
Because like,
mm-hmm.
I think attorneys actually have a deeper role than us when it comes to confidential matters.
Oh yeah, privilege, is that?
Yeah, I think it's attorney-client privilege, and it basically means that I don't have to they can't legally cannot force you to have tell us about your private conversations with your legal representative. Now, if they're not your legal representative, but they happen to be a legal representative, but they're not representing you, I don't think that's privileged conversation. I don't think.
Oh,
I don't know, but I would say this: I've seen in court where a person did not tell the truth to their attorney. I have multiple examples of this. And then what happens is they go to court, but the other side said something.
Mm-hmm.
So then the attorney's turning to their client going like, da-da-da-da. And the client then is acknowledging. And the attorney looks and you can see it on their face like, you didn't tell me this.
What?
And then the attorney is like, how am I supposed to represent your best case when I don't even know all your stuff? I'm learning listening to them talk about it.
Right.
Like that, I mean, how do they represent you well if you're not honest with them?
And how do you supposed to get the outcome that you want if your attorney can't even represent you well?
It's like literally giving you a hammer without nails.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just hitting wood. I'm not making any progress. Right? They got to have all the tools.
Making dents, hitting wood.
Making dents. Probably true. You're killing me, Jenna.
I'm back after 3 months. I don't know.
We should just have a picture with no nail and a hammer. Sometimes the attorney feels like this. Okay. Well, you know what'd be funny is an attorney reaches out to us and goes, I'm glad y'all said that, or be like, no, that's not true at all. I'm sure they're going to be like, yeah,
say something.
I'm sure I'm going to get the other one, which is like, that is exactly right. If they're not honest with us and they don't tell us everything, we struggle representing our clients. I'm sure they do.
They probably do.
Okay. What else? Was that it?
There's also some negotiation, all that stuff that attorneys or you guys can do. Mediation, final trial.
There it is.
That's kind of like what it is, right? On the legal side of what I've seen. Mm-hmm. And then you just get your outcome.
The thing I think I would encourage people to consider is when they mediate and settle, they don't realize that they have so much power in there. Mm-hmm. Because when you're not mediating and you're going to final, you have no power.
Yeah.
It's literally going to come down to what is now ordered.
Yeah. Mediation and negotiation is probably the most winning part of probably the legal part or attorneys.
Yeah. If you really want to win,
mm-hmm.
you settle. You mediate, you settle.
You mediate, you settle. Because it's something that you have power over.
Yeah. Because you can say no to this or yes to this. And if you learn our yes ifs, like we used to teach people, you get to use that in mediation. Yes, I can do that if.
Have you ever talked about that?
What?
On the podcast? Yes, ifs?
Yeah. You don't remember? Janot, I looked at the podcast. I will tell you, we've done a ton of them, a ton. And from when we first started this process to now, I'm really proud. I'm proud of us. I'm proud that we've got the information out there. So yes, we have talked about so many things. And yes, if was one I think I did with Dr. Robinson.
Oh, Dr. Robinson.
Remember Dr. Robinson? Friend of the pod, according to Armando. Friend of the pod. Yeah. So there you go. Collaborative conversations.
Ow, that was such a long time ago, wasn't
was
it?
a while back.
Yeah.
I think it was our number one episode, though, if I remember correctly. That was the number one episode that people listened to was collaborative conversations.
Oh, that's good.
So far.
That's a good thing.
Well, it is. And I'm thinking, yeah, I agree. I think it's a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's where I taught the yes if. And you're right. Mediations, they want to win. Great way to win. Learning negotiating language.
Yeah.
And yes if is a good one.
Yes
Right?
if is a
Because remember, it's right. Because then he said, well, what if I say no unless? And I remember correcting him going, that sounds so aggressive. I don't know if they're going to go
no
with that.
unless.
Yeah. No unless you're my demands. No, but I will tell you this. Chris Voss says this. No is the start of a negotiation, not the end of one. And if people will learn what that means, I'm not even going to tell them what it means. Go look it up. No is the start of a negotiation, not the end of one. Okay?
Very good, Michael.
Oh, well, I'm
You
quoting
didn't even
Chris
go into it. You
Voss.
just
I'm not going to do it.
let them do the work. for
Brief. I'm practicing my brief part.
you. Brief and informative.
Thank you.
And you said it in a very friendly way.
Thank you. So we're doing good.
We're biffing.
We're biffing. We're biffing. All right. What else?
All right. Lastly, ask a therapist. Michael, you're a therapist.
Yeah. Okay. So what are you going to ask me?
Michael, how do I win my court case?
You know what's funny about that? I don't think I've ever answered that question. I don't think I've ever said this is how you win. What I've said instead is going back to the beginning of what you said here. It's not about winning. It's about what is in the best for your children, right? And
Yeah.
for the situation. So I usually revert it and back and say, how would you know that the best possible outcome occurred in your case?
Right.
And then they tell that. And I said, that sounds like your win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When I ask families, I like to have both mom and dad in the session sometimes when I have that. Sometimes the kids too, depending on how
where we're
mom
at.
and dad are.
Yeah, where we're at.
And I'll ask them after the judge is out of your life, your attorneys are out of your life, and I'm out of your life, what would you like for that to look like?
That's a good one. Because they're so in it that they can't see out of it. So then
Yeah.
you like invite them to go, yeah, let's
we go
fast
out of
forward.
it.
Yeah.
What does your life look like?
Huh?
What
'Cause
are you doing? What is mom doing?
In most of our court cases, people like to rewind. They don't like to fast forward, They want to go back and all the stuff that already occurred, which I have no control of changing.
Can't do anything about it.
No. But if you feel like I got to know about it, that's fine. I think the part that I hate most in therapy is like you're proving your case to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you have to try to convince me of something, I'm already skeptical.
Yeah.
Like if I have to convince your kid that therapy is helpful, your kid's not going to think therapy is helpful at all.
At all.
So therapy is only as helpful as you want it to be. That's about what I say, right? So the question is, how would you know if coming to see me was helpful? There's my how question. And you know what's funny? They'll answer it. And I go, great. So if we focus on this, would that be helpful to you? I've had kids say, if you could help me not have to see my other parent, and I just tell them the truth. I don't have the power to make that happen.
Yeah.
And you know what? They actually appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
They appreciate you being honest with them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think I've ever answered a question of how do I win my court case.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I've ever been asked it that way either.
Have you ever asked the client, what does winning look like to you?
Without people using the word win.
Okay.
I think I've asked it more like, this is what I've asked. What does best interest look like to you?
Okay.
Because people use it both parents will tell me they want what's in the best interest of the child, but disagree on what that looks like.
Yeah.
So that's why I ask it that way. What does best interest look like to you?
Using their language. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Because it comes up all the time. They always say the same thing. They'll come in and say they just want what's best for the kids, but they disagree on what that looks like.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So yeah, I don't know if I've ever said that. What does winning look like to you?
Yeah.
Maybe I should ask the opposite one.
What does losing look like?
No, what does losing look like?
Oh.
I think I've asked this before. Well, no, I didn't ask it. I said it. I said, you can keep doing what you're doing, but the cost may be your child. Or you can change what you're doing
Mm-hmm.
with the potential gain of your child. Which one do you prefer?
Mm-hmm.
Because what I have learned with people is if they want to be jerks or a-holes or whatever they want to be, they don't need my permission to do that. They're going to do that on their own.
It's true.
I just want to remind them that when you choose it, there's an outcome to that, right? There's either a positive or negative consequence to whatever choice you choose to make, giving people their autonomy back, So like, yeah, if they want to be a jerk to someone, I can't tell them not to be. What did it say? What would it cost you? What's the cost? And is it worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? I literally said that in an episode with Jen. Is the juice worth the squeeze?
Is the juice worth the... Okay, I can't talk.
That's okay. I don't hear any clicking. We're good. Continue. Did you like how I did that? I'm such an idiot.
And nobody even knows what we're talking about.
I know.
Because
Sorry,
jokes.
inside joke. Sorry. But I did do that with Jen. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I did do that. Yeah. Okay. So you asked me, the therapist. I wonder, have you asked, what does winning look like?
I don't think I've ever asked that. And the reason why, because I want to get winning and losing out of our conversation.
I agree. I agree with that.
Because I know that probably parents have in the back of their mind, like, I have to win.
I have a question now. Because the court doesn't order everyone to counseling. They don't.
That's true.
So the ones that they do you suppose that the court is really saying, there's a message there, possibly, saying, this case is not going to turn out well if you keep using our process, legal. This is a situation that should be resolved by you. It's almost like we're going to give you the power back to go figure out how to resolve that. Do you think that's what maybe the court does sometimes when they send them to therapy?
Yes. And I think also because I think it's almost ingrained in kind of the legal system when we talk about like mediation.
Yep.
Like where you have to do mediation before you do the final trial.
Right.
So it's like, but I think that even before then, when you have like your associate judges and stuff like that, and they say, yeah, you know what, they're either they have the tools to be able to do it and they kind of see something in the parents and just like, you can do it. Or they say these parents need extra help and they don't have the tools and they need help
to get there.
To get there.
Can actually get
because then we can get to a place that maybe mediation will help. Right?
Wow. That's an awesome observation. I almost find it like, see it as a privilege that you're getting to come, like you have the order to go to counseling, because people are using counselors as investigators and not counselors as therapists.
All the time.
And it bothers me because I'm like, you're really taking away the best benefit that we can offer you because you're treating us as I need you to help me win my case. So I want you have to see it from this perspective so you can prove.
Yeah.
I need you to go in and say so you can prove X.
Yeah. And that's kind of like when, our goals don't align, right?
Uh-huh.
When therapists and clients' goals don't align.
I saw you throw that in there.
Hint.
Saw you throw that in there. Nice. The listeners will figure that out later, right?
You'll figure out why I said that.
All right, cool. What else?
I think biggest thing, I'm going to circle back to keeping children as the focus. I think that's probably how you win, really, is if your kid is the focus.
That's what you said, yeah?
That is, that's a winning strategy regardless, isn't it?
I think that both parents, regardless whether or not you feel the other parent during the marriage was an involved parent or not involved or whatever you may feel about them. They may be a bad spouse, but it doesn't mean they're a bad parent. And you don't get to judge them if they're a bad parent. The kid gets to make that decision.
Yeah.
I think they both want to feel like they have a say-so in the outcome of how it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think when one parent feels that their autonomy or their parental influence is ripped from them, that's when they become super the opposite. They'll become aggressive. They'll become non-workable or whatever else. And so it's almost
litigious, whatever it is.
Yeah, they become litigious. And so I'm wondering if I could just tell parents, like, how can you help the other parent know that you want to honor their autonomy, right? It's like, I'm not going to tell you you have to be different, but I'm going to say that if you choose that, I just don't think it's in our best interest for a kid. So what can we do to resolve this? How do we solve this? Because now I've given you my line. Does it make sense? And there's a way to do that in a very respectful way. And if people learned how to communicate like that, I think they would solve more problems. But, when you don't, you do it the opposite way. You remove their autonomy and their ability to be parents and have parental influence over the course of raising their kids. I think you're going to get litigious people.
Mm-hmm.
What's going to happen? And you're going to get mislabeled. You're going to be called an alienator, and you're coaching, and they're going to come in here and try to convince me that that's what's happening, and then tell me to go say that to court. Did I get it all right?
Yes.
No.
You're right, Michael.
This seems to be a pattern. Okay, so we have the internet, we have the attorney, and we have the therapist. So now the last part of this is wrapping this all up, putting it together. Do you see some similarities between those three? Major differences between those three when we talk to the clients about what does winning really look like?
Well, I think the biggest similarity, I would say with AI and the therapist is to kind of keep the kid the focus.
Mhm.
And it's not really about winning,
Oh yeah, I'm completely aligned with that.
It is more so about best interest and putting your best foot forward,
Mhm.
which I even think, like, even with an attorney, what's like the website that I read, putting your best foot forward, being honest.
That's right. Be the best version of you. And if the best version of you is not the parent that you really ultimately could be for your kid, why don't you seek out some assistance? I have not known anyone being penalized because they sought out their own. Have you ever seen a judge penalize someone for seeking out their own therapy?
I have not seen it. Not to say that it hasn't happened, but I have not seen it.
Well, let me tell you one. I remember there was a situation where a parent, and this is open court, so I can say this. I'm not going to say who the clients were, but one parent had their attorney go over this other parent's history in their childhood. They'd been on medication since they were a kid. They were diagnosed with all these things, blah, 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 blah. The other attorney said, has my client complied with all the recommendations of their therapist? Have they done their medications that they were supposed to? They did everything. I remember when the judge made his final statement to the parties, the judge said, "It feels like you want me to penalize someone for taking care of themselves."
Right.
They have a history of mental health, they have a history of things, but they've literally put themselves in check every time. They went to their appointments, they talked to their doctors, they take their medicine. So we were sitting here going, are we really here to penalize people for having shortcomings? Or what we're really doing is saying, we want you to acknowledge your shortcomings and work on them.
Mm-hmm.
We're not here to penalize you. We're here to help you grow. We're all imperfect people. There's tons of counselors out there. There's a reason for that. And counselors are all busy. Has anyone ever picked the phone up and called a counseling office? And they said, well, we can get you in about 3 weeks, a month, 3 months, whatever it may be, depending on where you're going.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here going, I wonder why that is. It's because so many people need help.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing you say, and I'll say it again, is you give yourself grace.
Yep.
And focus on the best thing for your kids is you being your best.
Yep.
That's it, right?
Best thing to do for your kids is be your best.
And I think that's the 3 things I heard here, from internet, attorney to therapist. Be your best version of self and be honest with yourself, and make sure that when you're making decisions that you put the child first. Love it. I try to wrap it all up. They said make a package out of it. Did I do okay? Thank you, Janelle. Anything else you want to say to the listeners or viewers? We appreciate the views too.
Oh, I love the views.
I know, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nothing else.
I want to thank you all for being here. You guys are awesome. It's wonderful. I love talking with Janan. She keeps it fun and interesting and funny. And I really enjoy talking with you, Janan, on these things. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I want to thank all of you so much for tuning in, listening to us, and being a part of the process that we do here for you. So you keep moving forward, everyone.